It was an early spring morning in April 2024 in the quiet village of Ashcombe, nestled among the rolling hills of Devon, England. The mist still clung to the hedgerows, and the damp scent of earth lingered in the air after a night of light rain. Retired schoolteacher Henry Walsh was taking his usual walk along the edge of the village green when something unusual caught his eye. Near an ancient oak, its trunk gnarled with age, a small opening revealed a fragile scene. Inside the hollow, 3 tiny barn owl chicks huddled together. Their downy feathers were still patchy, their eyes impossibly large, darting between fear and curiosity. There was no sign of the mother. The chill of the early morning, coupled with the absence of parental warmth, posed a silent but urgent threat to their lives. Henry knelt down, his heart tightening. Without hesitation, he reached into the hollow and gently scooped up the chicks. He wrapped them in the fleece blanket he always carried for his walks, feeling their faint tremors against his palms. In that moment, he made a quiet promise. They would have a chance. Back at his small stone cottage, Henry converted his modest living room into a makeshift sanctuary. He studied owl care guides late into the night, learning the feeding patterns and diets that would mimic their mothers. Using a pair of tweezers, he offered them tiny pieces of meat, speaking softly as if his voice could ease their fear. He named them Luna, Orion, and Astra. Drawn from the night sky, their species would one day roam. At first, the owlets were timid, flinching at every unfamiliar sound. But as the days passed, the rhythm of care and the warmth of Henry's presence began to dissolve the invisible wall between them. Their soft, tentative chirps grew into brighter calls that filled the cottage, a strange yet joyful music. Word of the rescue spread quickly through Ashcombe. Neighbors began stopping by, bringing fresh food for the owlets or simply to watch them stretch their growing wings. Children pressed their noses against the window, giggling when the chicks tilted their heads in curious unison. By late summer, the transformation was remarkable. The owlets' feathers had grown into sleek, pale plumage. Their once wobbly movements had turned into confident hops and short flights around the room. Henry knew the time for parting was approaching. On a crisp October afternoon, when the leaves had begun to turn copper and gold, Henry carried the owls in a wooden crate to the edge of the nearby blackwood forest. The air was sharp with the scent of fallen leaves. He opened the crate, and one by one, the owls took to the air. Orion was first, swooping upwards in a graceful arc. Astra followed, her wings catching the sunlight. Luna was the last. She lingered, perching on Henry's shoulder for a long moment, her talons light but steady. Henry could feel her heartbeat against his neck. With a soft hoot, perhaps a farewell, she launched herself into the fading light, her silhouette merging with the deepening dusk. That evening, as Henry sat by his window with a cup of tea, the night sky spread wide above Ashcombe. Somewhere beyond the treetops, 3 owls were flying free. And in the quiet between the rustle of leaves and the whisper of the wind, Henry liked to think he could still hear them, a reminder of the fragile, beautiful bond between man and nature.